Need some fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins? Go to MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 5% off your order. Link in the description below. Welcome back, YouTubers and Madden fans. This is MADDENMONEYSHOT, sniffing out the Madden cheese as always. Got a defensive video for you today. Blitz that I've been working on. You can see this is going to be all in gameplay. I tried to do some videos where I mixed in gameplay and practice mode to kind of break it down. But in this particular video, I'm just going to break it down all in gameplay because that's what people want. They want to see it live and direct. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have, you can see, this is not going to be a full gameplay. It's not going to be, I'm just focusing on this blitz to make it as easy as possible for you guys. Now the two blitzes that I'm going to do, they're both on the same page here, the nickel dog 2 and the nickel overload 3. Essentially the exact same setup, super easy. You just have your choice of cover 2 and cover 3. Now the setup is really simple. All I'm going to do is QB contain, bring in the blitzing cornerback into the contain on the left side, and then bring the defensive end all the way over, just so I can basically confuse the lineman. I'm going to be dropping back with this defensive lineman right here, and this is pretty much the look. You can see we're just really tight, really spaced in tight. That's really all there is to it. Only 4 guys are blitzing. I'm bringing the 5th blitzer back into coverage. So it's going to be, like I said, essentially a 4-man blitz. On this first play here, he runs it. You can see it does a pretty good job of stopping the run. I'll show you a couple different looks throughout this video of how it stops the run to the left and the right. It looks like it's going to be weak to the right, but it's really not as weak as you might think anyway. The next play, I'm going to go with the nickel overload 3. I try to mix them in as much as possible just to kind of mix up the coverages, but the nickel 2 is probably going to be better against the run, and the nickel 3 will probably be better against, 3rd and long, 4th and long. That's typically where I would use a third cover 3. So, like I said, once again, exact same setup. I don't get the user all the way in. I actually have to drop back the wrong defender, but you can see it still gets the pressure. It's going to rewind that. If I show it again, I slow it down, you can see I get caught on the defensive tackle and drop the wrong guy back, but I still have 4 guys coming because the defensive end comes, so it still pretty much works the exact same way. Ultimately, I think the defensive end's a little bit better, but you can see the cornerback's still going to get there. He still makes the play and forces the fumble. Next play, he runs a little bit of a no huddle. This biggest issue is getting all the adjustments in. Right here, you can see I get all the adjustments in, but ultimately, I get a weird animation where he kind of gets caught on the tackle and kind of gets, the tackle basically blocks 2 people. Sometimes that'll happen. On the defensive side, though, I know where the weakness is of this defense, especially on the 3rd and 19, and I get a lurk. The weakness of this defense is definitely going to be short throws over the middle. Now, this first opponent, he quits out right away. I just wanted to show that because my next opponent that I'm going to show this against is also using the Saints, so I didn't want it to look like it's the same opponent. So that first guy, he quit out pretty quick. I think one of the reasons that didn't work out on the last play of that first game was I don't think I got the QB contain out of the cornerback. If that cornerback isn't in the QB contain, it won't have the same success. Sometimes I'll move it over and I'll miss the QB contain. It has to be in there tight. You can see on this run play here, even if he's running to the opposite side, the QB contain comes in so fast that a lot of times it can really shut the play down. Obviously, if you run to the left side where the cornerback's blitzing, it'll be pretty good, but if you run to the opposite side where it looks like I'm going to be a little bit weaker, especially when I'm bringing the defensive end in, sometimes that cornerback can really shoot in and make plays across the field. Basically, he's going to be a forced defender. This guy looks like he's running very similar plays to the previous player as well. He ran this exact same formation. You can see over here, I get the QB contain in. Still got only 4 guys rushing as I'm going to drop this defensive end back. Got my whole setup in this time. You're going to see how on this particular play, once again, only blitzing 4. They're going to have 6 blockers, including the running back, and he's still just going to sneak right by. The running back is even on his side, and look how he just runs right around the running back and gets a sack. Like I said, this, I don't want to call it's not a nano, but it's an unbelievably consistent look, especially since there's only 4 guys that are coming in against 6 blockers. I'm 2 guys shy. I'm 2 guys at a disadvantage, and I still have that type of heat. Now, the next play I wanted to show this, I accidentally picked the dog 3 show 2. That's not the play. The nickel overload 3 is the play. They're very similar in look, but they don't work the same way. The 2 that work are the nickel dog 2 and the nickel dog overload 3. I point that out because I'm going to do the exact same setup on this next play through this formation, and it's not going to work. So ultimately, there's a lot of formations that look like this particular formation and a lot of plays that look like this particular play, but you can see right here, I have them in, I don't know if it's because the receiver bumped him off, but you can see he got immediately picked up. They slid over, picked him up with the tackle and the guard. The dog 3 show 2 is not a good play. Here's another one. I'm going to do the exact same play again. It's not going to have the same success. So I'm just only pointing this out because I don't think, don't make this mistake and think they're the same play. Here you go. Once again, no receiver bumped them off that time, but you can see how they slid over and they picked it up. So just be aware, if you use a similar formation, because there are similar formations that have similar plays, they don't work the same as these two particular plays that I'm referring to. So you have to use the two that I'm talking about. And I think the biggest difference is you can see the looping pattern that they're running in the nickel dog 2 and the nickel overload 3. The cornerback is just more of a looping pattern than of the previous play, the nickel dog show 3 show 2. So here we go once again. This is the actual play. Gonna get the full setup in. This next play has the exact same setup where the last play the cornerback that was blitzing in got bumped off. You can see the receivers are in tight. It's not gonna happen this time. I get the full setup in correctly. He's in the QB contain. He's gonna go right around that, loop around everything. Like I said, once again, just gets right in. He gets the pass off. Nope. But, I knock it down. Ultimately, you have to know the weakness of this defense. The weakness of this defense, because of the way the alignment is, the way all the players are stacked in the middle, is going to be quick throws over the middle. And that's what my opponent's trying to do now. Now, if there's a third play that I run in this scheme, it would probably be the mid blitz. The mid blitz has really been watered down over what it was in the past. This was a defense that I used to run the entire game. I just feel like it's vulnerable now, as you're going to see right here. He just hits me with a slant. Once again, quick throw over the middle is going to give this defense problems. So just keep that in mind. You're also going to have problems that you would have your normal cover 2, your normal cover 3. So you have to watch your typical gaps. But other than that, I mean, this defense it's really it's really effective. I wouldn't necessarily recommend running this defense the entire game. You can see how much success I'm having blitzing constantly with it. It's being successful enough that I'm dictating what my opponent can and can't do on offense. He has to throw short, which anytime you can do that is pretty successful. On this next play, though, you can see I don't quite get that QB contain in once again, like I mentioned earlier, and he's not going to get in the same way. You can see right there, if you don't get the QB contain in properly, it's not going to work the same way. So I thought about switching over and trying to correct it, but I knew if I would have done that, I never would have got back to my defensive end. So I just had to let it go, and predictably it didn't work. So that's probably the most important part. It's only 2 steps to set this play up, and if you accidentally don't bring him in close enough to make it correct, to do it correctly, it's not going to work. So right here, once again, now we got the QB contain. You can see it's going to work exactly like it's supposed to, especially since there's no blocking running back. You saw how we can get past the blocking running back anyway, but if it's an empty backfield, it's going to be even easier. As you can see right here, 3 guys are getting blocked with 5 guys, 1 guy's coming in free, 2 guys are getting double teamed. I mean, that's just a total waste. This is such an easy blitz to set up. So that's it. That's the vid. If you guys want to see more videos like this, a little bit quicker and to the point, do me a favor, hit the like button and let me know in the comment section. Other than that, thanks for watching Madden Money Shot out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.